Companies with an already established set of APIs and a running API team will likely establish an API program lead. The API program lead is a strategic role and focused on building API capabilities across the organization rather than just within one particular team. Outside In uses the concept of understanding what the end user needs in order to find the solution to meet those needs. This is where the API program lead comes in. The program lead embodies the outside in approach, seeing the world through the eyes of the key stakeholders in your organization. These stakeholders are very important as they will build a relationship with, connect on a regular basis, and establish a joint strategy for success. Their success is the API program success. The program lead needs to market and create awareness both internally and externally so that the APIs can be found and utilized. Even after a consumer picks up on an API, it doesn't mean that they'll adopt it. Understanding the usage patterns, provide channels for feedback, and support are essential. These acts as customers and developer engagements go a long way in retaining consumers. At this point, you're probably starting to see the patterns that an API program lead is a product management function. The program lead acts just like a product owner in setting the examples of the culture and language in which the organization views APIs. The way APIs are communicated, packaged, documented, and delivered will heavily influence how APIs are consumed and produced. This might manifest in the form of an API roadshow or in hackathons to build buzz and awareness. Building a really easy to use and self-service developer portal is also key as part of the developer engagement. However, every organization will do this differently. Organizations with established and hundreds of APIs may have multiple API product owners managing different API products with different consumers. Let's take a look at a few evolution scenarios and how the API program lead role evolves. Oftentimes, at the very early stages of an API program's maturity, digital experiences are highly federated. Each line of business, the horizontal line in the picture, owns an entire value chain with little cross-team coordination. APIs are often an afterthought and are mostly used to connect one system to another in a tightly coupled way. This makes these APIs less reusable and there is less consistency in design and documentation. The API program lead, acting as the API product owner in this case, has to work very hard to prevent being perceived and utilized as a system connector. Oftentimes, this requires an initial partnership with one upstream line of business. Together, they build to inventory and revamp the APIs into a common design, document, and accessible portal. Once a partnership and project is established, the API program lead takes the hands-on role as an API product owner to lead the API team into delivering on the promise of a better API platform and a better developer experience. While this could be delegated, we suggest that the program leads be intimately involved in the details as the foundational guidelines, principles, and design patterns are set. This will take some time, but small and quick wins will allow the momentum to build. As more APIs are produced and more legacy APIs are migrated to the new standard, success begins to travel. The API program owner leads the charge to create an enterprise and homogeneous outside-in API platform. Standards become much more comprehensive. API policies and flows are reused. Documentation is accessible and easy to consume so that developers can self-serve and get the support they need. However, with more demand, the API program lead becomes too busy to double as the product owner. More API product owners and business analysts are brought on board to help. With more requests, governance becomes a greater concern, as there are challenges to avoid project slowdown while ensuring that the quality is maintained. In order to be closer to the business, the API program lead can decide to align the API product owner to each line of business rather than a central model. Instead of a large central team, the central team is reduced in size and coaches the API product owners and developers who formally align to a line of business organization structure. To maintain consistency and reusability, the central team acts as a lightweight governing body focusing on enablement, guidelines, and consistency across the platform. At Google, this model is called a community of practice. At this point, the API program went from a large central organization to a leaner team connected to a network of autonomous groups organically organized around a community of practice. The API program takes less of a front and center role, as APIs just become part of the digital capability. Thank you for your time. If you want more information, please check out the Apigee community for ebooks, articles, and other related topics.